Should sober livings communicate with parents? How often should a sober living house manager communicate with a parent? That's a question we get quite often, and actually this is something that we experience quite often. And parents want their kids to get clean and sober, and parents want to support and provide help. Parents want to help. And when are you enabling as a parent? When are you enmeshed as a parent? When are you crossing the line as a parent? These are all valid questions. And as long as your son or daughter is in a sober living that has been in business for over a year, you have to trust that the program, the rules, the structure, and everything that is in place is there to provide your son or your daughter the best chances of achieving success and long-term recovery. And your son or daughter can be 18 or 19 years old, or they can be 30 or 35 or even 40 years old. So as parents, you never stop caring about your kids and you want what's best for them. So in this video, I'm going to talk about when it's appropriate, when it's not appropriate, how often should you communicate with the house manager, etc. So first off, if you are listed as the emergency contact, so that's the first thing. So your children, your kids are going to be adults if they're in a sober living, or this is the group of people I'm referring to. Kids, they're not kids, they're adults, they're over 18 years old. You need to be listed as the emergency contact, and there needs to be a release of information on file so that the sober living can communicate with you as their parent, as their emergency contact. So first off, remember that a house manager's main responsibility is to hold the clients, including your son or daughter and the rest of the residents at the home, accountable to the rules and the structure of the home. So that's getting out of bed, doing their chores, making their bed, following through with their daily and weekly activities, and completing 12-step requirements, going to IOP, going to PHP, going to therapy, getting some sort of a purpose where they're working or going to school or doing IOP or volunteering or doing something productive with their day. So the sober living has a program in place. So if your son or daughter relapses, you can expect to receive communication. You should expect to receive communication. If your son or daughter self-discharges, you should expect to receive communication. If your son or daughter doesn't come home one night, you should expect to receive communication. So any major event, you should expect to receive communication from the sober living, from the house manager. Now, if your son or daughter breaks some of the minor rules, like they sleep in, they don't go to a 12-step meeting, they come home late from curfew, these are all minor violations that they are going to get written up and they might receive some sort of a consequence for, but you shouldn't expect to receive communication from the sober living when some of these minor things happen. Now, so the communication with the house manager really should be minimal and only limited to major events. Now, if you want to receive communication on a more regular basis, on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, or a couple times a week, you should hire a recovery coach, or you should consider hiring a recovery coach. Because again, the house manager's job is to hold the entire community accountable to the rules and the structure, and the house manager should be present for all of the clients, all of the residents at the home. And remember, the house manager is also working their own 12-step program. So it's important that the house manager gets to really be present, hold clients accountable to the rules and the structure of the program and of the home. Now, a recovery coach's job is going to be anything from daily, weekly communication, following up with you, being a liaison between you and your son or daughter, being a liaison between you and the sober living, being a liaison between you and the therapist or the treatment team. So a recovery coach, if you want more communication, a recovery coach is going to be a good thing to consider. Also, one more thing, technology assisted care. So if you put your son or daughter in a sober living program that utilizes technology assisted care, that is a way to receive communication on a daily basis if you would like communication on a daily basis. And this is referring to their activities. So there's an activity list on some of the apps, like for example, the Camelback Accountability and Support app. There are going to be daily activities, weekly activities programmed into the app, and you can receive a daily email on the progress of completion of some of those activities. So a sober living environment is really there to provide your son or your daughter the support, the accountability, the community, and the best chances of achieving long-term recovery. Hi, I'm Tim Westbrook. I'm the CEO of Camelback Recovery. If you gain value from this video, like, comment, subscribe. If you'd like to check us out on our I Love Being Sober podcast, you can find us live on YouTube and on Facebook. Follow the links below to our other social media pages. We can also be reached at 602-466-9880 by phone or by text. Our website is camelbackrecovery.com. Let's stay connected.